how to value yourself, because most people go through life waiting for others to see their worth, to recognize their effort, to appreciate their presence. But the truth is simple and uncomfortable. If you do not value yourself, no one else will fully do it for you. Self-value is not something people give you. It is something you build, something you protect, something you live every single day. And if you get this wrong, you will keep accepting less than you deserve without even realizing it. So listen carefully, because understanding your value will change how you think, how you act, and how the world responds to you. Chapter 1: Self-Awareness and Identity. The first step to valuing yourself is knowing who you are. Not who people expect you to be, not who you pretend to be, but who you really are when no one is watching. Most people struggle here because they build their identity based on approval. They adjust their personality to fit in, to be liked, to avoid rejection. But every time you do that, you move further away from your real self. And here is the problem. When you do not know who you are, you cannot truly value yourself, because you are always changing depending on the situation. Real self-value starts with honesty, asking yourself simple but powerful questions. What do I stand for? What do I tolerate? What do I want from life? These questions may feel uncomfortable, but they give you clarity, and clarity builds confidence. Chapter 2: Boundaries and Respect. One of the clearest signs of self-value is boundaries, what you allow and what you refuse. People who do not value themselves often say yes to everything. They avoid conflict, they accept disrespect, because they are afraid of losing people. But here is the truth. Every time you accept something that feels wrong, you lower your value in your own eyes. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about teaching people how to treat you. When you say no to what disrespects you, you say yes to yourself. And at first, some people may not like it. They may test you. They may even walk away. But the people who respect you will stay, and they will treat you better because you showed them your standards. Chapter 3: Self-Talk and Mindset. How you speak to yourself matters more than how others speak to you. If your inner voice is always negative, always doubting, always criticizing, you slowly destroy your own confidence. Many people are kind to others but harsh on themselves. They forgive others but judge themselves for every mistake. This creates a gap between who they are and who they believe they are. To value yourself, you must change your inner conversation. Instead of saying, "I am not good enough," start saying, "I am improving." Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "I am learning." This is not about lying to yourself. It is about giving yourself the same support you give to others. Because your mind listens to what you repeat, and over time, it becomes your reality. Chapter 4: Actions and Discipline. Self-value is not just a mindset. It is also your actions. What you do daily reflects how much you respect yourself. If you constantly break promises to yourself, if you delay your goals, if you choose comfort over growth every time, you send a message to yourself that you are not important. Discipline is self-respect in action. When you do what you said you would do, even when you do not feel like it, you build trust with yourself. And that trust becomes confidence. Small actions matter. Waking up on time, taking care of your body, finishing what you start. These may seem simple, but they create a strong foundation of self-value. Chapter 5: Environment and Influence. The people around you affect how you see yourself. If you stay in environments where you are constantly disrespected, ignored, or undervalued, you start believing that is what you deserve. This is why choosing your environment is important. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who respect you, who support your growth. This does not mean everyone has to agree with you, but they should treat you with basic respect. Sometimes valuing yourself means walking away from places and people that drain you, even if it is difficult, even if it feels lonely at first, because staying in the wrong environment will cost you your self-worth. Chapter 6: Comparison and Self-Acceptance. One of the fastest ways to lose your self-value is constant comparison. Looking at others and feeling like you are behind, not good enough, or not successful enough. But what most people do not realize is that everyone is on a different path. You are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight. And that comparison is not fair. Self-value grows when you accept your journey, your pace, your process. This does not mean you stop improving. It means you stop hating where you are while you are working to get better. Progress is personal, and your path does not have to look like anyone else's. Chapter 7: Emotional Control. Valuing yourself also means controlling your emotions, not suppressing them, but understanding them. When you react to everything, when your mood depends on others, you give away your power. Emotionally strong people do not ignore their feelings. They manage them. They pause, they think, and then they respond. This creates stability, and stability builds respect, both from yourself and from others. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And that response shapes your self-value over time. Chapter 8: The Importance of Standards. Standards define your life. What you accept becomes your reality. If your standards are low, your experiences will match that. If your standards are high, your life will reflect that too. Having standards is not about being perfect. It is about knowing what is acceptable and what is not. It is about choosing quality over convenience. And most importantly, it is about being willing to walk away when those standards are not met. Because every time you settle, you teach yourself that you deserve less. Chapter 9: The Final Truth. Here is the truth most people avoid. Valuing yourself is not always comfortable. It requires saying no, walking away, being alone sometimes, and making hard decisions. But in the long run, it creates a life where you feel respected, confident, and at peace with yourself. You stop chasing validation, and you start attracting respect. Chapter 10: Closing Message. In the end, how you value yourself sets the standard for everything in your life. Your relationships, your career, your opportunities, all reflect how you see yourself. So take your time, build your value step by step, protect it, and never lower it for temporary comfort. Because once you truly value yourself, everything around you begins to change. And the most important thing is this: you no longer need others to tell you your worth. You already know it.